We'll start with the principle of VAT. Here we'll discuss the definition of VAT and types of VAT. First, we will understand the definition of VAT. What is VAT? What do we mean by VAT? As per definition, VAT is the tax on value addition to all economic activities. Let me repeat, tax on value addition to all economic activities. If we break the definition, we will get three different blocks: tax, value addition, and economic activities. Now, what is tax? Tax is the mandatory contribution to government. Here we have standard rate 15% and other special rates 5% to 10%. Also in few cases, certain amount. Now the most important part is value addition. In every business or service, there are several steps starting from purchase or import of raw material or packaging material. With that input in different steps of the business, we add value. For example, at the time of production, at the time of sale, and finally we add profit. These are the value addition. If you see the example from step 1 to step 5, we see with the raw material and packaging material, we are adding overhead, promotion, and profit to sell the final goods to the consumer. As a result, 500 taka raw material and packaging material has been finally sold to consumer as finished goods at 710 taka. So the net value addition is 210 taka. Economic activities. Economic activities includes any types of supply of goods, services, or removal. Business profession, licensing, lease, also economic activities. But the services provided by employee or directors are not called the economic activities. Now we clearly understand the definition of VAT. In summary, mandatory contribution to government on value addition like production and sales on business, profession, or supply activities. Now briefly, what is VAT Act of Bangladesh? Earlier we had 1919 on VAT Act, but now we have 2012 VAT Act. It has been developed in 2012 and enacted in 2019. So we call it VAT Act 2012. Sometimes we call it New VAT Act. But the rule is VAT Rule 2016. In the VAT Act, we have three types of taxes. One is VAT, another one is turnover tax, and final one is supplementary duty. We'll see all three types one by one in next slides. First one is VAT, which is paid on taxable import or taxable supply. Here you can see what is taxable import and taxable supply. Basically, all imports are taxable import and all supply are taxable supply if they are not exempted. Here I'm showing few goods and services which are exempted from VAT. Goods are mainly raw or natural item, for example, raw cotton, and the services are mainly life essential or agricultural services, for example, irrigation. Exemption lists are mentioned in the schedule. Now we have turnover tax, the easiest one to understand by name. As per name, tax is to be paid based on turnover. Those who pay turnover tax are called the turnover taxpayer. Turnover tax rate is 4%. So, in summary, we call turnover tax at 4% is paid on turnover by the turnover taxpayer. Who should be the turnover taxpayer? Whose turnover is below 3 crore for 12 months period. He is treated as a small businessman. As a result, government has given him the benefit of low tax rate 4%. Here, he will pay tax at 4% on his turnover. Here, he is called turnover enlisted taxpayer. On example to understand more, when one coaching center has only 10 lakh taka turnover, then that coaching center will pay turnover tax at 4% on its 10 lakh taka turnover. And finally, we have supplementary duty. Supplementary duty by principle imposed on luxury goods or services or imported goods or services. This duty is imposed to maintain economic balance. So SD is paid in selected goods or services by importer or supplier. Another important note is SD rate specified or fixed in specific service, and that SD rate by goods or services mentioned in second schedule. In some cases, SD is not imposed or applicable, that is, import or re-export or zero-rated goods. We will discuss zero-rated goods in later slide. As example, following few goods or services, for example, soft drinks, SD rate is 100 taka. We'll see how to calculate the SD in another slide. Another example of fixed amount of SD